Welcome to the Forsyth Magazines podcast. I'm Brooke Eagle, your host, bringing you the stories of the people shaping our community. From business owners to local leaders, we'll explore their journeys, passions, and lessons learned. Let's dive in. Hey guys, we're back with another podcast episode of the Forsyth Magazines podcast, and I have a very special returning guest and a new guest today. I have Beth Morphis, the president of Salem Gymnastics and Swim.
Good morning.
As well as Adrienne Beauchamp, the director of marketing and operations.
Good morning.
How are y'all doing?
We're fantastic. We're glad to be here.
Yeah, we were chatting before we started recording, and I would have bet money that Beth was on here. I was like, oh, it's been like 6 months. It's been a year and a half.
Well, I know that because when we came on, we announced a big expansion and new programs, and now they're actually open. And I know that didn't happen in just 6 months.
No, it did not. Oh my gosh, which I'm so excited that you're back to talk about that now that it is officially ready to roll. You guys had your ribbon cutting last week, right?
We did. We had it on Thursday. That was exciting. It's always nice to have something like a ribbon cutting or a party at your house because it gives you a chance to say it has to be finished by right now.
Yeah.
You know, that moment in time where all the dusting is done and you get everything vacuumed and cleaned up. So
that's so true. I saw a meme the other day and it said, I don't like the person I am the day I have people coming over, but that lady sure gets a lot done. And you do. When you set a deadline, you make it happen.
That's true. It was a great event, though.
It was good.
And we had a couple of guests that, the chamber puts it on their website and publicizes it. And we had a couple of guests that were from other child activity center focused businesses there. And it was really cool to collaborate with them and sharing the same passion with, kids and stuff. So that was awesome.
It was great. And then Robert Clark, our councilman, came by, which was really fantastic to hear from him. And the chamber came, they spoke, and they also had this big giant scissors that we got to use. That was pretty fun.
So I want to talk about what the expansion entails, like it was a huge process. I want to talk about what all it was.
Yeah, so basically there were two basic things that happened. So one thing is that we expanded our gymnastic space. So it went from about 2,800 square feet, and we added another 7,400 square feet. So if you know Salem Gymnastics, it went toward Country Club Road as far as the city would let us go. And so that was one section, and that became state-of-the-art upper-level gymnastics training, right? All the newest, fanciest, coolest things are in that section. And what used to be our competitive gymnastics kind of accordioned out. And so that whole section got remodeled, and we added in spaces like we have one space that's beginner girls every hour, every day. We have another space that's just set aside for those intermediate girls, the advanced girls, the AAU, recreational type teams. So they have their own gym space now. We have our new ninja program, which I'm going to let Adrienne speak about that in a minute. And then we've also remodeled our preschool area, put in brand new carpets and brand new equipment in there, an above the ground pit. And our lobby area is completely remodeled. You couldn't even recognize it.
Yeah, it's huge. Because, there's a lot of traffic in that area because you guys have a lot of people coming in and out. So it's probably nice to have that much space.
Yeah, it's really nice. The lobby area, I think, is one of the best improvements because as you come in, it's much more open than it was before. And yet people are kind of funneled through a welcome desk. So, swim goes to the left, gymnastics goes to the right. We have beautiful new viewing windows for the swim so you can see your kids learning, much better viewing area than before. So, all in all, I think it's just been an A+. A+ turned out better than we had hoped.
Oh, wow. And I know you are so excited that it's like in the rearview mirror, though. I know that's a stressful process.
It was a lot, but it was enjoyable. I like building things. I always have ever since I was a little girl, And
I know you had a great team behind you that made it happen.
The best.
Yeah.
The best. We had the best staff. Our people are so passionate. And then the folks at Bloom Construction were over the top great. Everybody
awesome.
that worked with us was really, really, all the vendors. We really had a wonderful experience.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So I want to talk about the ninja program.
Yeah.
I got to play on that for a little bit. Beth let me in, but it is so much fun and the kids are going to love it. I know they already do. So let's talk about.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's the flipping and the running and the jumping and swinging and transversing of cargo nets and, salmon ladders and things that you see on TV and, it's all of that activity and that high energy without the finesse of gymnastics. So if kids, boys and girls, want to come in and get their energy out and still get the benefits of healthy movement and just have high energy, super fun, like Ninja's totally for them.
Yeah.
I was even filming a class one night to do a little marketing video on what is Ninja, because people hear it and they think, oh, is it martial arts? And we're like, no, it's not that, you know, and it's totally opposite. But I was in the middle of these boys and girls, you know, that are already in an intermediate class. They've learned so much with us since we soft launched it. But they were just, it was amazing. And just the strength that they're going to get. Like, I was amazed.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it's really, really cool.
I love that y'all added that in. I think that's a really nice addition.
I think my favorite part about the Ninja is how they run up the warped wall, and then they can go down the spinny, slidey thing down to the bottom again. Yeah. So it's really fun.
Is that the official term, the spinny, slidey thing?
Spinny, slidey thing.
It is.
I personally liked jumping and grabbing the big rope net situation with the
balls inside of it. Yeah. Yeah. It is so cool. I mean, and that's once the rig, we soft launched the classes before we got the rig.
Yeah.
And once the rig went up, it was just amazing. And I remember, I can't think of the kid's name. Oh, Malcolm. He was coming in for class one day, and the rig wasn't up, but I had a picture of it, and I was like, look what's coming to your class. And he was just like, Lord, you know.
Oh my gosh.
And when that thing went up, I mean, the kids were just so eager to get on it.
That's awesome.
It was really cool. So.
Yeah, we have so many kids at our CrossFit gym who are obsessed with like the rings and stuff and playing on our rig. So I need to send them over to Salem for the Ninja program.
Yep.
Bring it. Good parallels. For sure.
So you guys have some champions this year.
We do. We had a really successful season this year for both our boys team and our girls team. It was highlighted by a national champion, level 8 for the boys, Zion Corey. He's a level 8 champion on the vault and in the all-around. And also a level 9 girls champion, Emi Kashida. She won balance beam and all-around.
Wow.
So we are just super proud of them. One thing when you come to Salem is when you look up on that big far wall, it's kind of like a wall of champions. And we have individual red banners if someone has won a national title. So that was big. I mean, the girls were jumping around, Emi gets a banner, Emi gets a banner. So it was just so exciting for them.
How special.
It's up for posterity, too.
Yeah.
And then we also, on the NCAA front, we have 3 new people going up on the NCAA wall. We have Tristan Mai, who's going to the U.S. Naval Academy.
Wow.
So we're super, super proud of them. I think this week. I think he just reported this week.
He was there this morning, but I think he's leaving soon.
Okay.
I think he leaves like before July 1st.
Yeah, and so impressive. We're so proud of him. And then Reese Staley is going to the Air Force Academy.
That's amazing.
So, and he's joining we have an athlete already at West Point. So we're going to have 3 guys competing in the academies for the gymnastics team.
Wow.
Which is really just super cool. We're so proud of them.
That is so cool.
And, you know, the U.S. Armed Forces are getting some fine young men.
Yeah, because, I mean, I would imagine that the gymnastics training they do is extremely helpful for that training as well.
Yeah, it's funny. The guy who was at West Point, he said, you know, the basic training, it's nothing.
Not for you.
Not if you're an elite gymnast.
Just to show off there.
Oh my gosh.
Our country is getting some really nice young gentlemen they're so well rounded and so ready to represent our country well. That's kind of the most heartwarming part for me. You know, at this point it's about the gymnastics, but it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, just the path that they've chosen for themselves and how gymnastics led them there is really cool. And then on the other end of the floor, you've got the little 3-year-old who gets their forward roll for the first time. And that's just as exciting. I mean, so it's the celebrations that go through Salem at the different levels of everything are really cool.
It is very special that you literally get to watch kids from that age, from that 3-year-old time frame and you even have coaches who have been there for years, who were there as kids and have stuck around. So that just speaks a lot to the family and the community that you've built there for how long people stick around.
Yeah. It's a great, the child activity center industry is just wonderful to be in, because when you look at everything that kids are dealing with these days, with social media and bullying and childhood obesity and anxiety levels through the roof, like they can come into a place like Salem or, any sport that they choose to be a part of and just really have the best part of their day, you know, and still be challenged, but like encouraged and high-fived and made to feel good about themselves. Yeah. And I think when you look at that, like that's really what keeps everybody coming back to work every day. And it's not work at that point.
And it's fun. Gymnastics is so much fun. I know for me as a kid, like traditional sports were just not my thing. Like I just wasn't cut out for that, I guess. And gymnastics for me was just always so enjoyable to learn new skills and to be around other girls my age. And it's just a good thing that y'all have going.
Yeah, I think the relationship piece also is one of the biggest parts about what makes our company so successful. That relationship piece. I remember we had someone who's working for us now. She's a full-time employee, and she was speaking about when she was a little girl, and she was a little awkward, got bullied at school a bit, had a little trouble fitting in, but she said, I'd come to Salem, and it was just me. I wasn't the weird kid. I wasn't the odd man out. I was just me, and I was celebrated for what I could do, and it just made me feel like I fit.
Yeah, and that's life changing for a kid especially.
Yeah, and that's why she wanted to come back and work for us. So,
I love that.
Yeah, it's a cool story.
That is a cool story. So I know nothing about this, but I was told to ask. I want to hear about the Salem Sampler.
Yeah. The Salem Sampler, with the expansion, we added the ninja program. So now our 3 main offerings are swim, gymnastics, and ninja. And I'm going to plug swim just for 1 second heavily before I get into the Salem Sampler. It is summertime. People are at water parks. People are playing in little backyard pools. They're going to the local pool or the lake or the beach. So water safety right now is just really, really important. So we just encourage everybody to keep eyes on each other while you're swimming. Don't swim alone. Exercise the water safety. Yeah. Wear your personal life-saving devices, on the lake, on the boat, on the jet skis, whatever. Just be super safe, but also enjoy the water and have a ton of fun out there.
And the color of your bathing suit, I keep seeing this on social media. Yes. Your kids need to have different color bathing suits for the pool versus the lake because you can be invisible in the water with certain swimsuit color choices. Yep. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Blue and green are like the worst for the pool because it just blends in with the blue water.
I feel like they shouldn't even make child bathing suits those colors.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
the bright neon yellows and oranges are best for sure. So the Salem Sampler is going to be August 17th. And with the expansion, we want people to come check it out. If people have been thinking about a new activity for their child, we've got 3 great ones to choose from. We've got swim lessons that start at the age of 3 months and go up to adults, and it's a good curriculum.
Oh, really? Do you guys do adult swim lessons too?
We do.
Oh, good to know.
We've probably got 25 to 30 adults that are taking lessons with us right now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Yeah, maybe just do an article on that because I feel like my grandfather who's passed away, he never learned how to swim, and I think if there was something like that, he would have considered dipping his toe in. Yeah. So that's great that y'all are doing that.
I see what you did there.
Nice little pun.
Dip your toe in the water. Give it a try.
Because some people are just scared of the water, and I think that's a good entrance to. I grew up around the water, so I can't really understand that. But a lot of people who didn't, that's
Yeah, I grew up with swimming and diving. The on the ground sports were not my thing. I was a water sport person, and if I had taken my first experience with swimming was moving to a new neighborhood and being thrown on the swim team, which I could swim, but not like that.
Yeah,
Competition
that's a different kind.
Right, exactly. And I, choked and inhaled too much water. But if I'd had swim lessons, before competitive swimming, I would have been a much better competitive swimmer.
Yeah.
That's neither here nor there. So. Anyway, but no, the Salem Sampler is going to be on Sunday, August 17th, starting at 2:00. And people who are looking for an activity for their kids can pre-register. They can go online to salemgym.com and pre-register. And it's no charge, open to the public. And they can try a ninja class. They can try a swim lesson. They can try a gymnastics class.
Okay.
We'll have preschool gymnastics classes. We'll have beginner girl gymnastics classes and boys. Ninja classes for both boys and girls, and swim lessons for all ages. So
I love it.
It's a great way, like if you're wanting to try something new, people will have a week of school under their belt already, you know, into that routine. And so, you know, if they're looking to try something, come on out on August 17th, go to the website and register. And again, it's free of charge. And for people who sign up that day, they will get they'll get their registration fee waived, and they'll be entered to win the chance of getting $100 free tuition.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
That's awesome. So
it's going to be a really cool event.
I think it's going to be great too.
Yeah.
I think it's going to really be great.
August 17th. We'll promote that on social media too.
That'd be great.
For sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, anything else that y'all want to talk about before we wrap things up about ninja, about swim, gymnastics?
I think that's most everything going on. I do want to point out, you know, that one of the differences that I'm not sure Adrienne touched on is that our program is entirely learn to swim.
Yep.
So it's not, we don't have swim teams, we don't do advanced anything. What we do is we teach all the basics, we teach the basic strokes. So when you complete our program, you're ready for swim team.
Okay.
You know, you're ready for it. But our water is warm as a bathtub. The air is 88 degrees. You know, it's just warm in there and soothing. So
Is there a
whether-
wait list for swim right now? I know there typically is.
There's typically a wait list for the baby classes for sure. Those are really, really popular. But we still have a lot of openings and availability, and we add classes as we're able to with staffing and demand.
Yeah.
So we're always looking at that. But there's a lot of openings out there. There's plenty that people could get into.
And what are the ages? Like, what's the age where there's a parent with them in the water?
0 to 2.
Okay.
Unless they sign up for a private, then the baby can go in with the instructor without
Okay.
the mom or dad getting in. But if they do the group Baby and Me lessons, which is they're super cute.
Yeah.
Either mom or dad or grandma or nanny will get in with the baby and the instructor. And we have small class sizes too. So the baby classes are 1 instructor to 6 babies. And then privates, obviously, 1-on-1. And then our group lessons for preschool age 3 and up, they max out at 4.
Okay.
And we always have 1 instructor per lesson. And we also have water watchers. We have water helpers. So, you know, I mean, it just improves the ratio having the water helper in there too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just small class sizes, super focused on the kids. They're always moving, not a lot of time sitting on the wall, which is excellent. And the other thing that our curriculum is really good about is, like Beth said, we teach all 4 strokes up to swim team ready, but that also incorporates life-saving skills. They'll have a safety week every month where they talk about, you know, if you fall in the water with your clothes on, they'll have the kids come and swim in their clothes so they can feel how heavy the clothes feel.
I like that.
Like,
That's
you
what a
might
great
be
idea.
fishing with grandpa and, you know, fall off the dock and you've got jeans and a sweatshirt on. And that's a lot different than
A bathing suit.
a pool and a bathing suit.
Yeah.
So we do things like that with the kids, and we teach them that if they fall in, to turn around and come right back to where they were. So there's all these little life-saving things that go into each lesson. And
How long is one, like, to go through the curriculum if you're a kid signing up? How many weeks or months long is that?
our lessons are perpetual.
Okay.
And that's throughout our whole, whether it's swim, ninja, or gymnastics. And each kid progresses at their pace. You know, I'm not the same as you or Beth, and Beth's not the same as me. And, you know,
Such a good point.
We
Yeah.
all progress at different levels and different speeds. So it really depends on the kid.
Yeah. I like that. Well, awesome. It's so exciting to have you back now that the expansion's complete. If you be sure to check out Salem Gymnastics on social media too, you can see some video clips of their awesome new space. And be sure to try out the Salem Sampler on August 17th. And I think that's it for today, right?
Yeah, I believe
All right.
so.
We'll get you back on soon. We will not wait a year and a half like we did this time. And
Absolutely.
guys, you can always find Forsyth Mags on social media and online as well at forsythmags.com and on Instagram at Forsyth Mags. And if you enjoyed this episode, or if you've ever enjoyed an episode, we would love it so much if you would leave us a rating and or a review. And that's a wrap for today. The views and opinions stated on this podcast are solely those of the contributors and not necessarily those of our distributors or hosting companies. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced without expressed written consent of Forsyth Magazines Incorporated. Ooh, that's a mouthful.